US President Donald Trump has addressed the Congress for the very first time after returning to power for the second term. Trump's speech was on the heels of his sweeping decisions on tariffs, immigration, Ukraine, and the layoff of federal employees. Trump opened his address with a bold declaration that America is back.
The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again.
Trump listed off the executive orders and other changes he's made in the first 6 weeks since the start of his second term.
And our country will be woke no longer,
he said, adding that workers should be hired based on skill and competence, not race and gender. The president also acknowledged the rising inflation. He blamed ex-President Joe Biden for higher prices, stating that he inherited an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare from the last administration. Trump, who has overseen a dramatic overhaul of the federal government, touted the changes that have been directed by Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE.
Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud.
Trump also suggested imposing tariffs on car imports and urged Congress, especially Democrats, to support tax cuts for everyone, which would cost at least $4.5 trillion. He also called for eliminating taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security benefits. The president then emphasized the need to support and protect police officers, despite granting clemency to those convicted of assaulting officers during the Capitol riot. He also directed the Justice Department to end all pending cases related to the riot. Trump urged Congress to pass a bill banning gender-affirming surgeries for children, calling the idea of being trapped in the wrong body a lie. He had previously signed executive orders banning transgender women from female sports teams and halting federal funding for gender-affirming care for minors, though the latter was blocked by federal judges. Trump criticized the Biden administration's withdrawal from Afghanistan, calling it disastrous and incompetent, and referred to it as embarrassing. He announced that his administration had apprehended the top terrorist responsible for the Kabul bombing and credited Pakistan for its help. Trump also urged Congress to fund a Golden Dome missile defense shield, similar to Israel's, to protect the U.S., emphasizing that it should be made in the USA. Trump's 1 hour and 40-minute speech, the longest since 1964, ended with a vision for America's future, promising to build safe, prosperous communities and lead in science and space. He declared that the golden age of America has only just begun. Meanwhile, protests take place both inside and outside the Congress, focusing on the president's controversial policies and statements. Bureau Report, NewsX World.